أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتولهم منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Surah Maida verse 51. The translation is Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O people who have believed, La tattakhidul Yahuda wa Nasara awliya. Don't befriend the Jews and the Christians. Ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. They are friends of each other. وَمَن يَتَوَلَّهُم مِّنكُمْ. Whoever of you befriends them, فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ. So he is amongst them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Verily, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not guide the transgressors. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is prohibiting us from developing a deep friendship with the Jews and the Christians, and is also giving us a warning that if we do befriend them, then we will be considered amongst them here in this world and also in the hereafter, which is a big loss. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is specifying that Allah will not guide the people who are transgressors, who have done zulm. So zulm means that anything transgresses from its limits. So the limits of the relationships between Muslims, Jews and Christians is that the Muslims should not develop a deep friendship with the Jews and Christians. If Muslims live with the Jews and Christians or other non-Muslims, we should definitely demonstrate sympathy, tolerance, goodwill. We should deal with them with justice, and we should demonstrate an excellent behavior with them, as is the requirement of the times. But we are not allowed to develop a deep friendship with them. That's the specification. And the background of this verse is that when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ migrated to Medina Munawwara, so he made a pact with the Jews that the Jews will not fight with the Muslims and will not support anybody who comes to fight with the Muslims or instigate any such group of people. Similarly, the Muslims will not fight with the Jews, and the Muslims will not instigate or support any group which comes to fight with the Jews. For some time, this pact was agreed upon and it was acted upon, but the hypocritical nature of the Jews could not tolerate this for long. So the Banu Qurayza, they wrote a letter to the Quraysh, and they in fact invited them to their fortress for doing a sort of a rebellion against the Muslims. So when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to know about it, so he sent a small army of the Sahaba to the Banu Qurayza. Now the fact was that the Banu Qurayza, they were in deep friendship with some of the Muslims due to trade relationships, and also because they wanted to spy on the Muslims. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specified through this verse that do not develop a deep friendship with the Jews and Christians. One of the reasons was for that is that the Jews and the Christians, they have changed their religion. So the Jews, they created a low level or a turned down version of the Judaism, which was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in which there was much ease in some of the actions. So they changed the book to make it easy for themselves, and they also killed the prophets alayhi salatu wasalam. On the other hand, the Christians, they exceeded all their limits and they made Hazrat Isa alayhi salam equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'uzubillah, and also Maryam alayhi salam equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they formed the Holy Trinity, and there are some factions of beliefs of different versions of this Trinity. So both of them digressed from their both of them were doing zulm because they digressed from the limits of religion. So one of the reasons is that if we develop a deep friendship with the Jews and Christians, then the Muslims might also start to do the same thing with their own religion. It's another fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised to safeguard the religion, but the point is that we must make sure that every Muslim stays away from sin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a warning to the Muslims to not to develop a deep friendship with the Jews. You are allowed to be sympathetic with them. If they are your neighbors, you have to deal with them in an excellent manner, like you will deal with any Muslim neighbor. You have to do justice with them. You have to demonstrate tolerance, sympathy, but you are not allowed to develop a deep friendship with them. In fact, in the caliphate of Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu anhu, he had ordered that in places where the Muslims were living in combined collectively with the non-Muslims, he had ordered that there should be a certain distance between the locality of Muslims and between the locality of non-Muslims, so that the effect of the culture of their religion, of their culture, their language, and everything that they do should not penetrate into the Muslim environment. And the reason is that Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has given us everything. He has even taught us that what sort of clothes we should wear, how we should eat, how we should behave with others, how we should go to the bazaar. So the whole culture has been specified for us. Islam even specifies the type of entertainment that we can do. For example, we have been told to learn swimming, horse riding, and fighting with each other in combat. So there are many exercises in the form of entertainment or games that Islam has specified. So we don't need to take anything from any other culture. And if someone is doing that, so that's a big loss, because if you take something from another culture, then it is definite that you're going to leave the sunnah for it. So as Muslims, it's our responsibility to first inquire about the sunnah for any action that we want to do, and then try to act on it. So here it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited us to develop a deep friendship with Jews and Christians. So you're allowed to trade with them. Obviously you can trade with them for your entire life, but during this trading you can talk with them. You can talk everything that you want to talk about, but you have to make sure that it does not spiral into a deep friendship. So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us, and that's what is better for us.